Hello everyone. This is going to be a pick a pile for what message does your spirit team need to kind of decode to you. Take a few deep breaths, and which pile are you most drawn to? Pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3? If you chose pile 1, controlling your reactions and responses to others who intentionally trigger you will be one of the most powerful tools in your healing journey. You've made magic out of your wounds, and that gives you the right to be cautious about who is allowed to experience you. So there's this energy of rising above people and situations that you have now outgrown. You are not the same person that you were when you used to allow certain things in the past. You have aligned with your higher self, and you have completely ended cycles that were not serving this alignment with your highest self. And this was a big deal. You did the work. You did the work. You trusted yourself to see the good in the bad and the bad in the good so that you could release any guilt, blame, or shame that you were holding that was keeping you from this transformation. All that pain, you transformed it. And you're giving yourself a new opportunity, a fresh beginning here. And again, we go back to that alignment with your higher self. You're bringing everything back into balance because you decided what was not going to work for you, what you were not going to allow, what was not going to continue. You refused to be stuck in the past, or with the past version of yourself that allowed for certain things. You said, I'm not going to throw good money after bad. I'm not going to continue to dedicate or invest myself into fruitless endeavors. I'm going to allow myself to pull my energy back from anything that's not pouring back into me in some way. Because you were sick of feeling like that. You were sick of feeling completely energetically drained. You were sick of putting every effort and energy into people who were not supporting you, or endeavors that were not appreciating you. It was making you feel the opposite of the way you wanted to feel. And you have really kind of rebalanced the scales here when it comes to, you used to not trust yourself, and you have seen how trusting yourself, or at least listening to your intuition, has gotten you out of certain barriers or certain battles here. There's a feeling of clarity coming in for you because you chose to recently cut out a person, mindset, habit that was not serving you. You freed yourself from that. And you can now see why you had to go through certain experiences so that you could have certain other pieces of the puzzle make sense for you. And now you're leaving behind anything that was keeping you from that 10 of Pentacles, from that stability, from that security, from that generational wealth, or from that being able to pass down to others your experiences from a pivot point of healing. And it's all because that clarity is really coming in for you. There was some kind of emotional manipulation from the group against you before. And that's where we see that need to control your reactions and responses because people intentionally trying to trigger you. That's what we see here. That's what you defended yourself against. And you now are using that to your advantage in some way. You're creating a path forward that previously you were delayed from, but you're giving yourself the opportunity to have some kind of divine intervention here because you chose to not let those who showed you their worst qualities change the way that you saw yourself. You did not let them change the way that you believed in yourself. No one can steal your thunder when you are the storm. You did not let them change the way you viewed yourself based on their inability to hold space for you. If most people really knew your story and all that you've been through, they'd wonder how you're still smiling. There's a need for you to be proud of yourself here. Again, divine intervention is now coming to assist you because those heavy burdens, you don't need to continue to carry them. You're recognizing what was your energy and what was manipulated from other people's energy that they were trying to make you hold, and you decided to transmute that because it was blocking your light. It was blocking your holy grail, your ticket to what was keeping you locked in, not being able to see your magic. So you are now transmuting anything that was in the way of you seeing how much you're able to create or change just based off of yourself. You don't need anyone else. You don't need direction. You just need to put in the work. You just need to stay dedicated and consistent. And you don't need anything outside of yourself to make the changes that you want to see, especially when it comes to ending cycles, moving forward into a calmer state of mind, and overcoming anything that was threatening to stand in your way. It couldn't block you, it could only delay you. And now you're taking back your power, especially when it comes to some kind of money wound here that was keeping you trapped. That throat chakra that you've been using or healing has really allowed for you to see how to maneuver out of obstacles that seemed like they were going to last forever. You're either maneuvering out of them now, or you're starting to recognize what mindset was keeping you from being able to maneuver out of them. It feels like the money wound is directly tied to some kind of inner child mindset or inner child wound. But healing this, and it could be something like I have to work really hard to make ends meet, or I'm not worthy and deserving of abundance. You are. It's just correcting whatever mindset was still standing in the way, because there's the victory, there's the forward progress, and there's the happiness and joy that comes from alleviating any blockages keeping you from abundance. So there's a need to really focus on the money mindset because it's deeper than just money. And I feel like it may be why that mindset has gone on for so long is because you don't want to feel greedy or selfish by saying, oh, I want money or I want abundance, because other people don't have that, right? So it feels out of your comfort zone to directly want that. And I'll say, look at it this way. That money wound or lack thereof is going to be like a signpost of how healed that inner child wound is, because they're connected. So desiring these things and working to call in these things and shift the money mindset, really what you're doing is showing that the inner child has healed and now feels worthy and deserving. So it may help you to not look at it in the way of I'm trying to call in money, but look at it in the way of I'm healing the inner child. I'm healing the inner child. I'm making some kind of choice to change my mindset, and I'm not going to look back because I'm not asking for this for greedy reasons. I'm asking for this, and I'll be divinely supported moving forward with this because I'm asking for pure reasons. I want abundance. I want healing in my mind because it's showing the healing of my inner child as well, because they're connected. This is two forces working together. The inner child and the money wound are connected in this case. So healing the money wound or the money mindset is actually showing how much progress you're making on healing that inner child. And I said something about throat chakra. I keep getting tied up in my words. Expression is the key here to healing that inner child wound. Nurturing yourself, allowing yourself to be supported and heard, and knowing that this is your story to tell. in whatever way you want to tell it, you are reparenting yourself. You're reparenting the part of you that felt undervalued or like you needed to just go sit down and be quiet because no one cares. You are breaking through those barriers now. And you are breaking through those barriers now. You're moving forward. You're divinely supported. This is part of your story to come out and break out of these barriers and wounds. You're no longer chained to the past. You're no longer chained to that pain. And you now are going to be able to kind of, this is like save yourself. You're going to protect yourself through taking action, working on that root chakra and really grounding yourself. You once were not aligned with the ability to do this, but you're coming into alignment in which, see how he's going right towards this scene? You are overtaking any money wound mindset barriers by facing it head on, by going inside and seeing that it was connected to an inner child wound, and that's why it was persisting. But now there's healing because you're making some kind of decision to cut away whatever mindset was keeping you from abundance. You're calling no more on this money wound. And because of that, you're going to see the light of how to make shifts so that you can have that stability, security, and abundance here through taking action on what was previously blocking you. Getting a new beginning by shifting your state of mind around not feeling like you deserve or could bring in the victory. But you're facing those blockages head on, and it's in reverse, so you're getting them all down through self-love here. You are taking your power back by going to battle and facing head on exactly what was keeping you from being in flow. No more self-sabotage when it comes to that money mindset. Knowing that you're not being greedy by wanting abundance, but knowing that it's basically just a signpost showing you how healed that inner child has become. Closure is a scam. Accept what they did and move on. When someone is committed to misunderstanding you, no amount of explanation is going to suffice. So this is the energy of love your story or create a new one. It doesn't matter who you were in the past. It doesn't matter what people tried to make you believe about yourself in the past. You are worthy of all those things that you desire. And now is the time for you to shift whatever mindset is standing in the way of you calling these things in. Pile 2. Slow success builds character. Fast success builds ego. The journey is part of the blessing. Effort is a direct reflection of interest. So this is going in the direction of your passion, of your purpose, of knowing that you're right where you need to be to get to where you want to go. Especially when it comes to flowing forward towards some kind of goal that you were previously not in the right mindset to really work on. See how she's like laser focused on this pentacle? Now you're able to put time, effort, and energy into whatever path previously felt blocked for you. Yeah, look, the Empress right over the Queen of Pentacles. You're taking your power back, transitioning forward into not having to constantly look over your shoulder here, because you removed some kind of barrier that was making you take one step forward, 2 steps back. Yeah, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. You've removed that barrier. It feels like you found out either someone who was against you, or you found out kind of like something makes sense to you now that didn't make sense to you before when it comes to either people being up against you or people just treating you differently. It's like you're starting to see, oh, it's because I have something to offer. It's not because anything was wrong with me. It's because something was right with me. You stood out amongst the crowd, and people did not want to see that happening. But you have walked away from or cut ties with that person or that energy or those people. Yeah, you're taking back your power here from what previously was blocking you and having power over you. This is giving like cord cutting energy, or at the very least, just pulling back your energy or making up your mind that you were no longer going to let other people affect the way you felt about yourself. This is giving the energy of healed from codependency or healed from an abandonment wound. You've reconnected with your higher self as opposed to relying on other people. It's like every time someone got the ability to step on you to get ahead, they would take it each and every time. And you started to notice a pattern of, why is everyone continuously choosing this? And you decided that you're not going to continue to put up with this betrayal. You're not going to fight back. You're not going to continue to feed into cycles of people who were just set on misunderstanding you. It's like you were left out of a lot. You were left out of a lot, and you had to come to the realization that that was not a you problem. That was not something that you were causing. In fact, it was your light that others didn't want to try and have to compete with because they couldn't. So they just tried to make you feel less than, and you ended that cycle. You called judgment on that cycle. You said, I'm not going to let someone make me feel like I'm lacking emotionally. I'm going to make a decision and not look back here. It does feel like there's likely going to be people from your past popping back up soon, trying to see if they can still access you, but you're in your power here. They're not going to get the reaction out of you that they expect. Your next chapter is going to cause a lot of people to wish they had treated you better. There's going to be people trying to come back, but you are in your power. They're not going to get the reaction that they expect. Your path is more difficult because your calling is higher. Make it happen. Shock everyone. There is a feeling of others not wanting to compete, not feeling like they can hold a match to the flame that you were able to produce. See? Laser focused on that pentacle. You're freed from whatever was keeping you from focusing on getting those crops to grow. Anything that was previously making your efforts fall short because of forces working against you or because of your energy being drained, you've cut the right cords here. You've cut the right cords. People that should have been trustworthy that were not are no longer affecting your energy, no longer able to manipulate you. I'm hearing gaslight, especially with the fire here. The people who were previously set on gaslighting you to control part of your mind when it comes to how you felt about yourself, justice is here. They're no longer able to do that. It's people that you trusted that were trying to keep you in a lower perspective about how you viewed yourself. And it's not going to fly anymore. It's quite literally not going to fly. Your angels, guides, spirit team stepped in and said, no, we'll go to battle for you. We'll show you what you need to see to cut these people out because they don't have power over you anymore. Hearing it's time. It's time to start making fast forward movement on what previously was blocked or stagnant, because now you're seeing the truth about certain situations. The people who were not for you, that did not want to see you having a new beginning, they now are either getting preoccupied with other things they need to focus on, or for whatever reason, they're being called to pull back and leave you alone. It feels like you have this protection over you, that even if they try to infiltrate, you have a higher vibrational standpoint that doesn't allow them to get to you. It's like, I can't even see you, I can't even hear you, whatever you're doing doesn't matter, as in you to the people against you. There's a feeling of you picked yourself back up this time, and you weren't supposed to be able to pick yourself back up this time, and they're shocked. Because what they dished out for you was supposed to stop you in your tracks and not let you take steps forward. 2, 3, you weren't supposed to take steps forward here because of what they dished out for you. But there you go, looking, strategizing, staying in self-love so that you can move forward and go into battle for yourself. But your battle is this fresh beginning. It's not revenge. It's not proving anything to anyone. It's simply staying in your own path and working. It's not boastful. It's just, I know what's due to me. I know what I'm able to create, what I'm able to work for, and I'm going to get that victory. You're doing it for you. You're not doing it for them. And that's the difference between you and them. That's the difference. They need everyone to see their changes. They need to get everyone to see it from their point of view. They need to kind of say, look over here, look over here, look over here, look over here, so that people aren't looking at the part of their lives that they don't want them to see, while you are over here not falling into this emotional manipulation, staying in self-love and transforming yourself. You're not doing it for the crowd. You're not doing it to impress. You're doing it for your soul to evolve. You're not doing it to impress. You just want to feel better, and you don't want to continue to focus on what's going wrong. It feels like the people in your past focused a lot on what was going wrong, and now you've broken free from that mindset or that community that wasn't serving you, and you're seeing the full truth here, and that is groundbreaking. That's what's helping you really propel forward here. Where you previously were hesitating to take a leap of faith on yourself because of some kind of group mindset or influence over you, they no longer have the power. They no longer have the power over you. Think of how many people from your past know a version of you that doesn't even exist anymore. Take a moment to admire your growth and how far you have come. The person that they used to feel like they had control over, that person doesn't even exist anymore. They couldn't get access if they tried. You're only stressing because you haven't given up. A weak individual would have folded by now. Give yourself more credit. If you picked pile 3, all human behavior is either love or a call for love. The peace you are heading toward is worth everything it will require you to lose in the process. Trust this. So you are healing your heart chakra because of someone's decisions in the past that hurt you or went against you or caused you to kind of be at war with yourself. But you're heading into a season of peace now. Someone wanted you to believe a lie or be okay with love being pain. And this can be a friendship, it can be a relationship, it can be family, but you finally have trusted yourself enough to realize that love is not pain. It does not have to be that way. And you're taking your power back so that you can defend yourself here. it's almost like this energy of reparenting yourself so that you don't have to settle for less than what you are deserving of. You've called judgment on this energy of strife. And you've recognized that connecting with your higher self allows you to see that your reality is molded by what you are telling yourself in your mind. And if you're focusing on all the negative and what is going wrong, you're going to see your reality in that way. You've started to make big shifts when it comes to what you are focusing on. You're defending yourself by being in a state of self-love and allowing yourself to work, allowing your mind to work for you as opposed to against you. There's this energy of deciding to stop yourself in your tracks with negative internal dialogue. You're starting to recognize these things and say, I'm not going to feed into this. I'm not going to pull myself further away from where I need to be by telling myself negative things about myself. There's also some kind of imbalance that you are working to or need to work to fix within your environment. This feels like physical environment. Needing to give yourself the opportunity for a fresh start by balancing everything. It feels like needing to kind of spring clean or move stuff around or release stagnant energy needs to be a focus here. Because you're not seeing yourself having as many options as you do. It feels like there's a bit of analysis paralysis or a bit of overwhelm here. But there's a need to free yourself from that so that you can heal. So it feels like maybe you're holding on to a lot, either emotionally, energetically, or I'm feeling for a lot of you physically, like holding on to a lot that needs to be released. Emotions are energy in motion. So when there's no motion in the emotions, we get some kind of blockage here. And you do have happiness available to you, but you're not seeing it yet. There's a need to focus on a solution to an ongoing external problem that requires either organization, reorganization, cleaning and clearing, writing something down to manifest. It's like some physical change that's needed so that you can see there's room for an emotional change or an emotional rebalancing here. Something that you're focusing on is needing to be shifted because it's causing some kind of delay or it's causing some kind of frustration that's not allowing you to have the energy to move forward in the area of planning. There we have the moving forward. There's a feeling of needing to lay it out and see it. So again, that could be physically clearing your space. That could be planning, strategizing, organizing. But there's a need to really allow yourself to, what's really drawing my attention here is this, like, it looks like Kundalini awakening here. It's like clearing everything that's keeping an awakening from coming to you. Getting the space ready. And that's mental space, emotional space, and physical space. There's a need to really allow yourself to get ready for shadow work. Or it's almost like as you clear the space, as you make room, what first needs to happen is what was repressed or buried comes to the surface. And you need to kind of face that head on and allow yourself to love yourself through those moments of emotional release of what was previously buried. You're making space, and as you make space, you then have space to fill, and what immediately fills that space is what was being previously swept under the rug. And you're going to need to action release of how it makes you feel. So expression, it can be art, it can be writing, it can be talking. It's like not holding it in, but letting it flow. If there's another person who wants to support you, letting them support you. But knowing that you're making space in your life, and as you make space, as you organize and clear, there's going to be You can expect and anticipate certain shadow wounds coming to the surface, that it's almost like a final, how much have you healed? Are you able to sit with these things, look at them, feel them, and release them, or are they going to keep you stuck? There's also with finances here, there's a need to get clear and organized for this upcoming year. I don't know if there's something specific coming up that you need to save for, but it's almost like you have something, but it needs a solid plan in order to come to fruition. There's also a certain relationship here that needs to be, I'm hearing, left where it stands. So if you're pouring a lot of time, effort, and energy into some kind of connection and the other person is just not meeting you on the same level, it's time to leave it where it stands. It doesn't mean you need to cut this person off, but if they're not going to put in any effort, you don't need to either. Think of how many people from your past know a version of you that doesn't even exist anymore. Take a moment to admire your growth and how far you have come. So it may be that you've outgrown this person, and holding on is more than just holding on to a person you've outgrown. It's you not seeing that you have evolved and admitting that there's certain things that aren't evolving with you. It's like you need to see the vibrational difference between you and someone from the past and kind of maneuver or handle the relationship accordingly. This level up includes more trust than fear, more intuition than doubt, more inspiration than judgment, and more magic than you can imagine. So don't block your blessings by essentially making it feel to you like you're a vibrational match with someone that you've outgrown, because there's a need to recognize when to stop pouring energy into someone who's not going to be able to understand you or meet you on the level that you're at. Queen of Swords, Princess of Wands, it's like you have freed yourself, you have taken your authority back, and this person is still kind of figuring out their magic, figuring out their perspective. And there's only so much that you can do. There's a need to not keep yourself stuck because of other people. Yeah, this may be kind of a big deal to you. I have the Princess covering up the Ace. So whatever influence this person that needs to be left in the past has on you, it's making you doubt yourself. It's making you doubt your holy grail, your talent, your skill, your ability. It's making you feel like you're not that Queen of Pentacles yet. You're still needing to level up, when in reality, you've done the work. You're on to the next level. It's just aligning with people that make you doubt that will kind of hold you back and not allow you to complete a cycle. And there's that Queen of Pentacles in reverse that I just mentioned. So it's making you feel like this, not this, and be stuck in this cycle, when in reality, High Priestess, you've already leveled up. You just need to make decisions in your external environment that show that you know that you've consciously leveled up. You get what you give here, and the relationships that you keep will show how you feel about yourself. Are you still chained to your past and stuck in a negative cycle? Look, the Sun in reverse right over the Devil. Don't allow your past to keep you from seeing the light of your future. This looks like they're at a funeral. Let what is in the past be in the past. If it's not going to support you, it needs to be released. Whether that's a person, a mindset, a habit. You're coming into emotional balance here because you chose to see things from a higher perspective and make choices according to that higher perspective. Make sure that you're doing that with the people in your life as well. Don't be the fool and keep yourself in the dark due to not walking away from someone who's energetically negatively affecting you. Don't allow it to keep you from what is due to you, because you've already put in the work and made the changes, and you're transforming into the version of yourself that can no longer be manipulated or controlled. You can no longer be manipulated or controlled. You don't need others' validation or support, and now you know that for yourself. You've known that for a while, but you were still holding back because of pain. But you've shifted perspective, and now you are coming into the energy of going inside for a short period of time and allowing anything that was previously delaying you to be left where it stands in the past. Sometimes we have to give it a go without a solid support system. Just you, the universe, and a vision only you can see. That is still enough. Carry on. Don't expect small-minded thinkers to comprehend your big dreams. They haven't learned to stretch their thinking yet. They're either not willing or too afraid. So let those relationships, let those people be what they are. Let them stay where they are. You don't need to try and change them, but don't let them bring you backwards either.